and welcome to this episode of John's Motorcycle Rescue and Review. Alright guys, it is time for another new motorcycle project introduction here. Today I'm with Kawasaki's beefy 2000 Vulcan. This is a 2006 model. It is the Vulcan 2000 Classic. In the 2000s, the Japanese manufacturers were really competing for the cruiser market with Harley-Davidson. All of the big four Japanese manufacturers made big displacement V-twin motorcycles that had the classic styling that kind of emulated the classic Harley-Davidsons. To me, the Kawasaki Vulcan 2000 looks like it was styled to emulate the Fat Boy line of motorcycles from Harley-Davidson. I picked this motorcycle up as a part of a 3 motorcycle deal, and I purchased 3 motorcycles on the same day, and I kind of had to make a quick decision on it. I picked this bike up because I felt like the price was right for the value of the motorcycle, and I felt like I could really make this bike nice and still have a little bit of room to make money at the end of the day. And I also thought it would be really fun to feature some content that I haven't featured on this channel before. And so I'm just looking forward to getting into this project and getting this bike back into shape and back out on the road. All right, it's a cold day. Let's see if it will start up. I'll give a listen and see what it sounds like. All right, that's a good sign. It doesn't sound bad. I'm definitely going to go in and change all of the fluids in the bike. I will change the transmission fluid. I'll change the engine oil in it. I will make sure that the battery is fully charged. I will also go in and I will make sure that the idle speed is turned up just a little bit. It seems like my idle speed is a little bit on the low side. The smoke that you saw coming out of the exhaust pipes is just the condensation on a cold day. I don't see any concerning smoke at all. If you like great motorcycle content and you want to help support this channel, please consider becoming a member. Depending on level of membership, members get early access to new videos and bonus content on this channel, and your support will help me continue to make great quality motorcycling content for you to enjoy. And I just want to give a special shout out to all of my members and subscribers and those of you who participate in the comment section of this channel. Thank you guys so much. I could not do this without you. Let's take a quick look around the bike and see what we see and see what the starting point of this project is. One of the first things that I did, actually while the bike was on the trailer, was to spray down all of the crinkled black finish and all of the chrome parts with a little bit of WD-40. It's very cold out, it's in the 30s here, and I'm not going to have a chance to wash this bike and clean it up anytime soon. And what the WD-40 does is it kind of soaks in. It will help loosen up any light surface rust that is on the chrome parts. It'll also make it easier as I service the bike to break things loose. It acts a little bit as a penetrating oil, but it's really on the parts as a protectant. Once the weather warms up here, I will do a full wash and detail on the bike, but I just wanted to have some kind of coating on it to protect the parts over the winter months. Starting off at the front of the bike, when I purchased the bike, I noticed that the front tire needs to be replaced. It has some uneven wear on it, and it is past the wear points on the tire itself. So I'll go ahead and order up a new one of those. One of the things that the previous owner informed me of was that it needs a new front wheel bearing. And you can see in this picture that the wheel was actually cocked a little bit to the side. That's how bad the front wheel bearing is on this bike, so it definitely wouldn't be safe to ride. The previous owner also included a new front wheel bearing for the bike in the purchase of the bike. The brake pads on the front brakes look to be in pretty decent condition. My plan for the front wheel is to order up a new front tire, and once that's in, I will take that and I will have the new tire put on at the same time that I had the wheel bearings put in the front wheel. Looking at the brake fluid on the bike, what I can see through the sight glass on the front brakes and the sight glass for the rear brakes is that it looks like it's the original brake fluid. It's almost a brown color through the sight glass, and what that tells me is I will need to go in and replace the brake fluid in the bike. When I do that, I like to push the pistons out a little bit on the brakes themselves and clean the pistons, and then I will push them back in once they're all cleaned up, and I will reassemble the front wheel. And servicing the brake system like I do ensures that it is functioning properly and that it is safe once I get this bike out on the road. This bike makes a ton of torque with that big V-twin motor, and they're kind of fun to ride. They don't really rev all that high, but they have a lot of power. Anytime you want it, you just roll on that throttle and that big wave of torque just carries you forward. Additionally, the bike is a big heavy bike, and so I want my brakes to be up to the task of hauling it back down from speed. Looking at the rear wheel, the rear tire actually looks to be in pretty decent shape. It's got plenty of tread on it. It looks to be a newer tire as well. As I said, I'll go ahead and I will service the brake system for the rear of the bike. I'll make sure that the lube points for the pedal are lubed up properly. I'll also make sure that it has new fluid in that system in the master cylinder. I'll bleed that out, make sure that I've got new fluid throughout, and then I'll also service the rear pistons, and I'll check my pad health in the process. One nice thing about the big V-twin cruisers is the air filter is usually pretty accessible, and on this one it's just a matter of undoing 4 bolts and the air filter is in here, so we'll check that over as we go through the bike. Again, I'll check all my fluid levels, I'll replace the fluids in the bike, and I'll make sure that this bike is safe to ride. And I'm looking forward to getting it out on the road and letting you guys know how it rides and doing a full review of the Vulcan 2000 in the future. I have owned a lot of the big muscle cruisers from this time, including the Kawasaki Mean Streak, the Yamaha Warrior and Raider. I've owned the VTX 1800 as well. And it'll be really fun to compare those bikes with this one as I'm able to get this one out and enjoy it. Currently, this motorcycle has 54,000 original miles on it, so it's a little bit higher than the bikes that I typically deal with, but being a big displacement cruiser, I'm not really concerned about the mileage on the bike, and again, we'll make sure that it's safe to ride and that it runs great before I'm out on the road really testing it out. Cosmetically, this bike isn't perfect. It's got a few dings and scuffs here and there. It has a couple of small dents here in the top of the tank. I'm not really concerned about that. It's not a functional issue. It also has a few bumps and bruises on the rear fender, but I'll make sure that those are touched up, and anything that's bent a little bit or tweaked, I'll make sure that it's straightened up. I also noticed that the front fender is a non-standard unit. It's an aftermarket front fender, and it looks a little bit sportier than the typical Vulcan classic front fender. All right, guys, it's a cold day. I'm getting a little chilly here, so I'm going to roll this bike into the garage. As always, I hope you found this video entertaining and informative, and until next time, enjoy the ride.